This is the performance review platform of Grosum, where each user get an unique ID and password. You can customize this portal based on your branding, name, and image. You will have your own logo and tagline here. So I'll quickly log in as one of the users who is both a manager as well as an employee, and we can have a look at how the review process works. So once I log in, I can see that the dashboard opens up, and the first thing that I see is the list of the reviewees or the people who are reporting to me and their stage of at what stage of the review they are at. But here we can see that 3 of them are in the goal setting stage, 4 are in the self-review stage, 1 is on the review stage, 1 is on moderation stage, 2 is on acceptance stage, and 1 has already completed the review. I can also see a list of open tasks from goal setting to acceptance, and I can see among these stages what are the tasks that are open with me. Here I can see that under the goal setting, I need to set goals for myself, need to check in to update the performance review of my reviewee, have to review one of my reviewees' performance, and recommend increment for my reviewee. I also get an idea of the employees who are working in the organization as an admin, as well as who are working under me and at what stages they are at. And if somebody has completed a stage and I want to unlock a particular stage for them, then I can do that as well. If I unlock, then that stage will be open with them and they can access it again. So this provides a basic details of the status of the self-appraisal of status of the appraisal of all the reviewees that are under me. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the goal setting. So I can see that I need to set goals for myself, and it is one of my open tasks. So I will go and start the process. So once I open this, I can see that goals have been preset for me. Now, where does this goals come from? These goals actually come from templates that are assigned to the role that I have been playing in the organization. So templates are basically goals that you can set for employees playing specific roles in the organization. Let's say I am a business development executive and I want other business development executives to have the same goals as me or have common goals. Then I can set template for the designation of business development executive, and all the business development executives will have the goals from the template which is same with each other. So what I cannot do as an employee is delete a mandatory goal, but what I can do is edit the targets and the weightages. So both the targets and the weightages are editable for the employee. Additionally, I can provide details on a particular goal. The details can already be present from the templates. That is, those can be template suggested, or I can myself put it into the system. I have 2 categories of goals basically. One is the goals and another is competencies. Competencies are on a different matrix and we can see that the competencies that I need to perform as a part of my job, and I can also see the weightages that have been assigned to each of the competencies. Now, if I feel that there might be some goal which is not present in the template, so what I can do is, along with the template goals, I can add goals from my own. So once I click on add goal, I get 2 options. I can either choose a goal from the library, or I can create a goal if the goal I am looking for is not present in the system. So when I'm trying to create a goal, what I can do is I can set the weightage for the goal, as well as I can choose whether the goal is quantitative or qualitative. As you can see that quantitative goals are measurable in nature, so they always has a target by default, whereas qualitative goals does not have are not measurable by in nature, so they does not have a target assigned to them. What there are other things which I can do as well, that is I can add perspective to the goals which I have set, and what Grosum does, it further allows the goals to be classified into sub goals. Say, for example, for a goal of business development, I might have 3 sub goals. First is bringing business of bringing new business with a target of $30 million. The second is bringing business from existing clients with a target of $40 million, and bringing new clients from, say, North America. So as an employee, it provides clarity to me that, okay, the business development goal is actually going to be evaluated on the basis of these 3 goals, these 3 sub goals with specific target. So what it does is it helps me to get clarity on my work objectives and accordingly distribute my time and focus and my priorities. As I had already said that I can choose goals from a set of goal library, as well as some set of goals library that these goals are all applicable to the role that I am playing in the organization. There are some goals that comes from the past as well. As you can see, the established tech lead has already been assigned a weightage of 20% because it has been previously assigned to me in some other reviews. What I can do is, if I am happy with the goals that have been set for me, I can just sign off the process and the goal setting will be done. However, if I add or make any changes to the weightage or percentage of any goals, then, for example, if I change the weightage of this goal to say, change the unit of this goal to say 85, and what I will do is, after making the change and after seeing that every other thing is okay or further changes need to be made, if I make all the changes, and then what I do is I sign off from the process. So once I sign off from the process, my manager, who over here is Mycroft, who over here is Mycroft, will be notified that Binoy has set goals for himself and they have to review the goals. So what I'll do is I'll quickly sign in as Mycroft, and what I'll do is I'll show how the manager's view actually is in terms of goal setting. So here, as you can see, that I have logged in as Mycroft, and this is the view that I see. I set goals for 2 of my reviewees. If I click on that, I'll get to see that I'll have to sign off Binoy's goals. So Binoy has made the changes which I am seeing right now, but I do not agree with it. So what I do is I'll make the changes, say I'll make it back to 90 or make it 95. Then what I do is, and I'll see if I want to make any changes to any other goals or competencies. And after reviewing everything, I'll sign off from the process. So once I sign off, and since I made changes to the change which was already made by Binoy, so what Binoy or what I as Binoy will see is, I need to accept my goals that have been given by my manager, since Mycroft made a change to the goals that I have set for myself. So I will get two options over here. Either I can agree or disagree to the goal that my manager has set. If I choose to disagree, I will have to provide a reason as to why I am disagreeing with the remarks. But if I am happy with it, happy with the target that has been set for me, so I can agree and the goal acceptance stage will be closed. Once I agree to the goals that have been set for me and sign off from the process, it will lock the process for both me and my manager. So over here, you can see that my goals are set. So this similarly, as one thing that I would like to mention here is the manager's view is quite similar to the view that an employee would get while in terms of goal setting. Where also he or she can set goals from the library, choose the goal from there, or if they don't find the goal from the library, they can always create their own goals. Each goal might have a sub goal if with a specific target and specific weightage if the goal is quantitative, and only weightage if the goal is qualitative. So depending on what the manager does, the process will remain the same for both the manager and the employee. So once the goal setting is complete and before the appraisal, Grosum provides a continuous check-in platform for employees and managers for updating their performance on the goals on a regular basis, get feedback on their performance, have one-on-one conversation, and record the conversation. So let me select a goal for which I want the check-ins to be done. So over here, I can see that this goal, increase the customer NPS score, has a target of 90 and I have achieved 9 so far. It shows me the progress of the goal and the time which is left for me for the goal completion. So all that you see here are the past recordings of the same goal which I have made in another review cycle. So I can also do one-on-one conversation with my managers. And if at any point in time, I want to add a check-in, what I'll do is I can go to the actions and add a check-in where I can just add my current achievement and provide corresponding details in terms of the wins, challenges, setbacks, red flags, plans, whatever, and then submit. So once my another thing to note is that this check-in process is open till the time my self-review is complete. So once my self-review is complete, my check-in process closes, and then it goes to the next leg of the review process, and then my manager can do the review of my goals. For each goal, I can record progress as well as I can have one-on-one conversations with my manager and my colleagues. So if I have come up with a plan, then I can record it and send it to my manager. Like WhatsApp, over here a double tick will signify that my manager has viewed my plan and can give me write me back based on whatever his opinion is. So this platform helps you to know that both the employee and their manager are on the same page in terms of communication they are having regarding this goal. As an employee or a manager, what I can do is I can ask for feedback on my goals at any point in time. from a single or multiple employees, and I can provide a reason as to why I am asking for feedback, and also I can seek feedback on a specific template. Not only that, at the time of giving feedback, the person whom I am requesting the feedback from can choose to give it anonymously, such that they can share their opinions about my performance. So this is what an anonymous feedback share would look like. So once the feedback is given, I can see it on my goals, and this is how I can see the feedbacks that I have seeked or what was given to me. Now, also, I can add attachments for the references, for my references on any goals. So all the part of the checking process, like the progress, the time left, the one-on-one conversations, the feedbacks, and the attachment records communication and achievement, which helps for an easy access and understanding as to where an employee is standing on a particular goal during the review process by the manager. So if I start my self-review process, you will see that all the check-ins that I have done, on any particular goal is all recorded, and it can be viewed. For example, over here, I have done one-on-ones, the comments, the instant feedbacks which I have got, the attachments which I have like referred to for this particular goal. Everything can be viewed during the self-review process. So let's look at the self-appraisal process now. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the process. So I can see here that there are 3 forms that I have to fill up and provide my inputs on as a part of my self-evaluation. All of these are configurable, and I will show that when I cover the flexibility of the solution and how customizable it is according to your needs. Now, as a demo view, I can see that I can do ratings of my performance. I can identify my I can see the ratings, or I can give ratings to myself. I can identify development needs, as well as I can answer open-ended questions that the organization might have for me. So let's start with the rating section. The rating section will list all the goals that I have set for myself, and for each performance categories, that is goals and competencies, both of them will have a corresponding rating scale on which we need to provide a rating as to so as you can see over here, I can see that these are the rating which I need to do for myself for all the goals and the competencies that have been assigned to me. Beside goals and competencies, you can see the corresponding weightages which will determine how the overall performance will be calculated. If you remember, we were doing a check-in on my customer NPS score, If I take a look at this, I can see that my conversations are listed. Here, any feedback which I got have also been recorded here. And I can see the attachments which I have referred to for this particular goal. So once I try to rate myself in this particular goal, what will appear is a box where I have to put the actual. Here I can see that the actuals of my achievement which I had given during my check-in is also recorded automatically during the calculation of the performance rate. So I can what I can do at this point or at any point in time is I can update the actual based on my latest performance, and the rating will be for that particular goal will be calculated on that actual. For example, if I change it to 15, or then the system will automatically provide a rating based on the actuals versus what my target was. So over here I can see the rating is automatically taken up by the system based on the inputs of my actual score and the target which I had been. So here we can see that for quantitative goals, the ratings will be automatically calculated based on the achievement. But for subjective goals, we can select select how much we want to rate that based on a rating scale. So here are different tools that are available for target-based goals. For example, you can say that 80% achievement of target will give 1 star, 85% will get 2 stars, and so on. That can be a way of calculating the ratings for target-based goals. Or you can have an exact calculation. So let's say for a 5-point rating in your target of 100, you have achieved 75. Your exact rating for that goal will be displayed as 3.75. The other thing which I wanted to point out here is that there are some goals where higher achievement basically means higher performance. For example, in case of sales, if the target is 100 and if the achievement is 90 or 110 or so on, then it is considered to be a higher performance. But there are other goals where lower achievement indicate better performance. For example, customer complaints. So that can be configured for both the types of goals. We also have a system of sub goals. So these are the sub goals for my goal of supporting marketing team in the efforts towards brand creation. If I try to rate it, I can see that there are 2 separate ratings for my sub goals. My first sub goal is subjective in nature, so I have to choose from the rating scale, whereas my second goal is measurable in nature. So if I update the actuals, the rating will be automatically taken. And the overall rating will be calculated based on whatever ratings I have given to my subjective goal and whatever actuals I have put for my measurable goal. Okay. So as you can see, while I have been rating my goals, 2 things are happening. One is the overall performance of my goals is being calculated, which is the weightage average of the goals. So whatever ratings I have got with the weightage, the system calculates the overall performance of the goals. Also, I am getting an overall percentage, which is a weighted average of 70% goals and 30% competencies. With my ratings on goals and competencies, the overall performance will also be updated based on whatever ratings I am giving. So my performance on competencies is competencies is 74, whereas my performance on goal is 70, and the overall performance which I am getting based on 70% weightage on goals and 30% weightage on competencies is 71.2%. For each goal, I can give comments justifying why I have given that rating. So this actually helps the reviewer to see why my ratings are this for a particular goal. For example, here I can give the comments based on whatever I feel like I deserve this rating for. So once I am done with the rating part, what I can do is I can go to the development part. So if I have identified any training needs or any development needs while performing my goals, I can add that as well. Again, here I can also tag a particular goal for which I had identified the training or professional needs. More fields can be added, and whatever the needs I have identified can be inputted into the system. So next I'll move to the highlights. As I had already informed, the highlight is where the organization can ask open-ended questions and the employee can write comments, and once done, the review is complete from the employee's perspective. There is a possibility of adding comments. So adding comments to the overall ratings, and once I sign off, the process will be closed from the employee's perspective. And this actually what it does is closes the process of self-evaluation for me as an employee. Once the self-evaluation process is completed by the employee, the manager is notified by email that the reviewee has done with their self-review, and then the manager can log into the system and can see what ratings the employee or the reviewee has given them in terms of self-evaluation. So what I'll do now is I'll quickly show you the manager's view of the same. Here there is an additional section, as you can see, of promotion, where managers can recommend employee for promotion and transfer. Under rating section, under rating section, I can see the employee's rating, as well as I can see any additional comments or anything that they have inputted, why they have put into the system while giving self-review. So here I can see all the ratings that my employee has given. So here, as we can see that these ratings are automatically taken into the review process, because these are quantitative goals and are rated based on the targets that have been achieved. So these are automatically calculated. Now, I can give my ratings and can see what the performance score as well based on my ratings. So here also, as we had seen that a particular goal had 2 sub-goals. So based on that, the ratings can be calculated. So as I am updating the ratings of my employee, I can see the difference between the rating that my difference between the percentage of the rating that my reviewee has given themselves and what I have given them. Similar is the case with the competencies. So as I go on rating the employee, the competency performance is also being calculated, and here also I can see the difference in the performance percentage of what my reviewee has given themselves and what I have given them. Now, if I click on the development tab, development section, I can view the training needs identified by my reviewee, and under that I can add a field if I would like, and then I'll move on to the section of highlights where I will also get to answer open-ended question. So there are certain questions which are only to be answered by the reviewer. I can see that. So this portion can only be rated by the, only be commented by the reviewer. So that is the part, and then I can give an overall rating and given any given any comments that I wish to, and then I can sign off for the process. But before doing that, I'll quickly like to show you what the promotion section of the review looks like. So here, as you can see, we get a details of the current role, what the employee is holding in the organization, as well as what are the recommendations I have for them. So I can change it based on whatever I want, change the designation, change the band, change the location, recommend or don't, give reasons as to why I am recommending them for the new role and why I think that they needs the promotion, they deserve the promotion, and then I can save and sign off from the process. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly sign off from the process of the review. So once I sign off, the review process moves to the next leg of the process flow, which is to the moderator. So moderator's view is something similar to what the reviewer and the reviewee views while giving ratings. So what I'll do, I'll quickly log in as a moderator and I'll show how the moderation looks like from the moderator's perspective. As the moderator logs into the system, they can find under their open task that the moderation leg is open, the reviewer's ratings. So I'll just click into the moderation which are left for me. So I'll be reviewing for Bert. Now, as I am opening it, so here I can see that by default, the system has taken in the ratings which the reviewer has given to the reviewee. So moderation is basically a layer where the moderators can check whether the inputs provided by the employee and the manager, so that there is no bias between the ratings between both of them. And it is not important for the moderator to provide any inputs mandatorily, They just need to review the ratings of the reviewees and the reviewers and sign off the process. Moderation ensures that any dissonance between the reviewer and reviewee and like whatever difference they have is not a part of any bias. And if the moderator wants, then he or she can make any changes they like. After the moderation is over, they can, what they do is they can promote, like give their opinions on promoting the employee, and based on whatever their opinion is, the employee will get their promotion or transfer. So what, after I give my overall rating to the performance of the employee as a moderator, I can give any final comments I want, and then I can sign off from the process. So after the moderation is done, the next step that is present is the step of normalization or bell curve, where the HR may like to review the employees and distribute them across different performance bucket and fit a bell curve. So this can be a leg that is available. So as you can see, Bert's review is now just about met expectation, and I can make necessary changes to fit him into the bell curve, and where the HR finds suitable. And so essentially this works with a lot of data, and the main purpose of this is that as the HR manager of the organization, and as a part of the normalization, I can adjust the ratings of the employees to fit them into the bell curve as required, and then sign off, which will then move the review process to the next leg, which is the acceptance process. Suppose if I change this, I can do that, but I have to fit it within a bell curve. So what I'll do is I'll submit. So after the normalization is over, the next step of the review process is the acceptance. Basically, it is the last leg of the review. Now, the acceptance process is something which may or may not be required by the organization, but it gives the employee an opportunity to review the inputs of the manager and then either agree or disagree to the review. So I'll quickly show you the acceptance view, so that at the time of acceptance, what I can do is I can see my final ratings that my manager has given me. I can get a view of what ratings I have given myself. Since this was forced, I forced the sign off of the manager so that I can show you what the process looks like. So these are empty anyway. So this is basically what the acceptance view look like. So I get a view of the ratings that I have given myself, what my managers have given me, and also see the development needs and the highlight questions, feedbacks, and so on associated with a particular goals. As the final step of the process, if I am not happy with the ratings that have been given to me, what I can do is I can reject the process, but I have to give a valid reason for why I am rejecting the ratings that have been given to me. But once I reject it with a valid reason and sign off, my manager will be notified and the process will open for them. Then they can have a offline discussion, or they can again set ratings based on they can again review their ratings and can suggest a different rating. However, the number of disagreements can be, a limit can be set to the number of disagreements. So for example, if I set the limit to be 2, then any disagreement which exceeds twice will automatically lock the process for both the employee and the manager, and and then the HR have to intervene offline and unlock the process for them. But if I'm happy with the ratings that I have received, what I'll do is I'll accept the rating. If I want to put any comments, I'll do that and I'll sign off. So this basically completes the acceptance process or the review process. So if the review needs to be unlocked at any level of the review process, that can be done by the admin. Let's say the moderation of an employee went. Let's say the moderation of an employee went to the moderator who is currently on a leave. So instead of the process getting like stuck there, the admin can actually sign off the process and change it. For example, if the reviewer to be done is not available, then what can be done is it can be signed off by the admin after a confirmation from the moderator. What it does is that it helps the review process of an employee to move forward at any point in time of the review cycle. So what I'll quickly do now is show you some of the report analytics, which are one of the core competence of our solution. So the reports basically provides you a dump of all the data that is generated as a part of the review process, and you can generate this report with your specific filters. So let's say the goal setting process is done, and now I can download the goal reports of all the employees across the organization or the employees working under a particular manager or a moderator. Similarly, I can download reports on goal-wise rating, perspective-wise rating, development, what are the training needs or development needs that have been identified while completing the goals or during the achievement of a particular goal. I can also see what are the recommendations for promotions that have been done by different moderators and reviewers, the open-ended questions that the organization had, and what are the comments that the employee and the managers had given to answer them. The overall scoring and rating can also be done. This can also be filtered out. Each and every goal which I am talking about can be downloaded. The report for each and every part can be downloaded for the whole organization, or can be filtered out based on whatever the need for report arises. Now, if there is any review disagreement, that will also be downloaded as a report, where the name of the employee, their comments, and was the purpose of the disagreement, everything will be shown. Now, as a part of GrowSum, we provide a very nicely designed standard formatted PDF report of appraisal. Again, this can be customized as per This can be customized as per the requirements. As you can see, this PDF report provides a complete summary So as you can see that this PDF report of performance appraisal provides you a complete summary of your ratings, development needs, highlights, sorry, or the feedback that have been received during the review process, the check-ins and so on. So everything is available from this performance appraisal PDF. Now, this report section is available for all the users, not only the admins. So let's say if I am a manager for a team of 10 employees, then I can download the report for the entire team or choose any particular team member by filling those report filters I would want to download. Now, the next step is the analytics part, which is another core competence of Grosum. So, as you can see that very good visualization of the performance analysis of the employees after the review cycle is provided by Grosum. We have a very comprehensive analysis module where we provide different dashboards which help you slice and dice employees across various criteria. After the review, the employees get an overall ratings, right? So this allows you to see the spread of the employees across different gradings, and then you can also filter this by different criteria like specific departments, reviewers, employees, location, whatever is available. This would be helpful to analyze how the performance is being assessed and how the employees are performing under different combinations of organizational units and management skill. So here all the graphs, the data of all the graphs that you can see are downloadable in nature. So if you want to do further analysis and want specific reports for manager, you can always do that. So next I'll click on this core section. So in this core section, as we remember, we had to give an overall rating to the employee, right? So the overall ratings like 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, these are recorded over here. Here also, the reports can be filtered based on the departments, location, reviewers, employees, whatever the requirements is, and the Excel file can also be downloaded as well. Now, here the employee wise view is also available. This helps to understand who are the top performing employee and who are the laggards. Here also, if a specific department or specific manager needs to be filtered, that can be done. So now moving on to the category-wise representation of the analytics. This analyzes the performance by the category, by the performance management category, that is the goals and the competencies. So goal-wise, you can focus on what are the how the goals are performed throughout the organization, and similarly for the competencies as well. This again helps you to break down the overall performance into this specific categorized analysis of the performance by the criteria. So if I look at the 9-box method, it is basically an analytics tool that we provide where we help to map performance versus potential. If we say goals are equivalent to performance and competencies are equivalent to potential, then we can map these goals and put the employees into these 9 brackets. So you will also get to see the report of these 9 brackets over at the top. Here we have only 5 brackets because employees are only available or exist only in those 5 brackets. So once I click on one bracket, I can see who are the 2 people who exist in this category, and similarly for all the categories, so on and so forth. So over here, the 9-box category can also be defined by the employee, by the organization. What will define a low, what will define high for the goals, and the competencies can also be set. Now for goal-wise view of the goal-wise analytics view, this gives an overall understanding of the difference between the ratings that the employee has given them during the self-review and what the reviewer and the moderator has given them during the review. So this can also be filtered out based on departments, location, goals, and reviewers as well. So here we can see that basically it is seen that the employees tend to overrate themselves, as there is quite a big difference in the rating given by the employee and the moderators. So now if we move on to the great strengths, we will get to see what is the top performing goal in the organization all throughout the organization. So it helps the organization to understand that what are the goals that are giving them the maximum target achievement and what are the goals where the employees are lagging in. So this will actually help in determining what they need to work on more for achieving goals. So development opportunities are where employees receive the lowest overall scores. So this will also give an insight of what they need to work on. Hidden strengths are those where employees have rated themselves low, but the managers have rated themselves high. So it will give an overall understanding of what is the rating difference between them. And blind spots are those where the employees have rated themselves high, but the reviewers or the moderators think that that is not the place where they should be rated high. So it also shows the difference and can be a fact check for the employee to see what they need to work more on. So it is target versus achievement. So it is a very simple page or simple data where we can see what was the target for each and every employee and what was the achievement they had made against those targets. Now, the next thing that Grosum provides are some powerful admin tools. First, I will quickly like to talk about the plan and schedule tool. So under this section, the admin can what the admin can do is the admin can set a time frame for each of the sections of the review process. Like for goal setting, so let's say you set within let's say in case of goal setting, it is set from 4th February to 29th February. So once the date is set, the process will be automatically activated. And when the date comes, the employee will be notified. So again, under this plan and schedule only, we can also get to see we can also set up different instructions based on whatever time frame we are choosing. And the employees will be notified when the time comes and when they complete the task. So email notifications can also be scheduled. For goal setting, reminder can be scheduled where the employees will be notified on a particular date every day. It can be chose the interval. The interval can also be chosen as to when the reminders need to be done, at what time, and from what time to what date to what date the reminder need to be set. Everything can be done from this email configuration as well, email configuration and plan and schedule section. Now we'll quickly come to the configuration part. As I had told before that the entire solution provided by Grosum is extremely flexible, and only a toggle of a button can help the organization to choose what are the stages that they want in their review and what they don't. For example, if I want the goal settings to be done only by the reviewer, I can do that. If I don't want to allow goal acceptance, I can just deactivate this leg. If I don't want check-in, I can say no. If I want them to be done only by the reviewer, I can do that. Similar is the case for self-review. If I don't want to allow it, I can deactivate the button. Moderation, normalization, acceptance, everything is customizable. Similarly, under review form sections, I can choose what are the sections that I want. If I don't want any particular section, I can do that. If I want to make it mandatory for the reviewer, I can do that. If I don't want my reviewee to rate themselves, I can also do that. Anything which I want, I can make changes from this parts. Similar is the case for goal configuration. If I can choose how I want the overall scoring to be based on, do I want it to be based on a rating scale or overall percentage, and who I want the targets to be updated by. I can do I want it by the reviewer, reviewee, or by admin, or do I want any due dates for completion, or what is the frequency of review. Everything can be done. Similar is the case for rating. Rating can be based on target fulfillment or the actual calculation based on whatever they have achieved. So normalization cutoff can also be set. Assessments can be done by who can do the assessment, by reviewer, by moderator, or both by reviewer and moderator. Disagreements level can be set. I can choose how the templates will be assigned when a new employee or new profile is joined, or if the designation is changed of any employee during the period of a review cycle. So whether it can be done automatically or by manually by the admin, everything can be customized. Now next, quickly coming to the template section. So here I will get to see what are the templates that have been assigned to the employees. So if I want, I can also download it as a report to see what are the templates that have been assigned to different employees. For example, if I want to add a new template to a particular employee, I can definitely do that. What I need to do is I just need to unlock the stage. And as I unlock the stage, I can add template. See, map template, and it will get mapped to the employee's profile. The next is, so this is an important part of the profile of any employee is who are their reviewer and moderator. So I can do that. If I this will help me to show who are the employees who have no reviewer or reviewer or moderator mapped to them. And if I want to change the reviewer within a review cycle, I can do that as well. So the new moderator, so then whoever the new reviewer would be, their goals can be copied over, goals, comments, check-ins, everything can be copied over to the employee. So as we have seen during this entire thing, there are many customizations that can be done based on the requirements or based on the support that the organization needs. So Grosum is flexible enough to cater to the need or cater to the requirements of the clients. So basically, this is the entire process of the review cycle. So it starts with goal settings, then check-ins, then self-review, then review by the moderators, the reviewers, then the moderators, then the HR signs off as a part of normalization, then acceptance, and then the process is more or less this.